What's going on YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and this week is a week I've been waiting for. I ended up missing out on Halloween, didn't really go for Carton too much because I knew that CG Rain would be coming out this week thanks to an announcement we had from a gaming convention from the official producers of FFBE. Now, in this video, I want to give you guys kind of a primer, talk about what I hope they change a little bit with the global version of CG Rain, along with just talk about what he can do, and, you know, give us a little bit of how he works, a breakdown with that, and then also want to talk about what is happening because CG Rain is coming out way too early compared to what should be happening, and he's supposed to be a Summon Fest unit. So we're going to talk about that and what kind of changes we're going to have with Summon Fest coming into this in this video. So let's get into it. So guys, for this video, we are going to be looking at Aldore King Rain, the CG version of Rain, coming out this week. It's supposed to be coming out this Friday, but we're going to be looking at the JP version because the global version hasn't released yet, and I'm hoping they give him a little bit of global buff. So how does CG Rain work? What is his main tick? Well, he is going to be kind of similar to you guys who like Esther out there. He is going to be an LB spammer. It's going to be one turn, he's going to be casting some cooldowns and maybe a chaining ability, next turn LB. Some chaining ability, some cooldowns, LB. Because he has this cool way of flowing where he's always going to have his LB up at least every other turn, and the LB is absolutely outstanding. So it's great. The one thing I do not like about CG Rain is his chaining family, going to be Stardust Ray, and there are not a lot of units out there that has this in global, which brings me to the first change I hope they bring to him. I hope that they bring a change to Stardust Ray, change him to Bolting Strike, Divine Runation, even go back to that time. Actually, I would really enjoy Divine Runation because he could be chaining up with Hyo, which we'll talk about in a minute. That's not the first thing. He kind of needs an update to his chaining family in relation to how global has been kind of changing things up with Bolting Strike and other kinds of chaining families in our game. So looking at his TMR, we have heavy armor, attack 28, defense 45, HP 10%, and then increased LB damage 30%. So we have a nice attack stat on a chest piece, along with some defensive stats, defense 45, HP 10%, but the most important thing is going to be increased LB damage 30%. So anybody out there who is using maybe an LB spammer, isn't really wanting to use CG Rain for his damage dealing abilities, kind of just wants to stick with what they have, this is going to be really good for you anyway because of that LB damage up 30% with a pretty high attack stat attached to it, which is great. His STMR is a great sword, attack 174, two-handed weapon, so it has the variance attached to it, and increases equipment attack 50% when single wielding any weapon. Guys, this weapon right here actually isn't something you guys really need to go after too much. If you got lucky enough to get 11's STMR, that's what you're going to slap on CG Rain here because it does have the LB boost up. Also, speaking of 11, we're going to switch over to his TMR, which is one of the reasons why I said you probably want to Moogle Prism this TMR, or you want to at least have one of the Moogles left over so you can use in the Prism. This helmet is going to be great for you CG Rain users out there. Armor, helm, attack 40, defense 21, so high attack stat on a helmet, giving you guys Erdwin's Coronet, increased LB damage 20%. So on any LB user out there, it's going to be great. And then coming out for King Rain, it's going to be outstanding. So it's one of the things you guys want to be looking to get. I actually got lucky enough to get 11 off of my silver keys, so that's what I'm going to be going with. I'm just going to pump into him and get that TMR out. So what weapon would you put on him? Well, when we get, you know, the robot trial, Aegon or whatever, when his new version comes out, we probably will be using that weapon on our CG Rain until we have CG Noctis, in which case CG Noctis' STMR is actually insane, and we would like to have that on him as well. It's very similar to 11's, a little less attack with some MP slashed on it, but for now, I'm going to be going with my Kingdom Hearts Cloud STMR. Maybe you guys have Cloud's STMR, things like that. Two-handed weapons, high attack stat, because Rain is going to be able to imbue and imperil on his own, so we don't really need to have a weapon in his hand. Moving on down through his other abilities, before we get into it, the other change I want to have to CG Rain isn't to get rid of his throne, even though that's why they call him Chair Rain and their chair lasts well, is because they have these giant seats in the game they stand on or stand behind or sit in, I mean, and people wanted that removed, but I would be okay with that. A lot of people were not a fan of that giant throne being next to him. I don't really like it either. I'd rather him just be standing there, but that's not what I'm talking about. The other change is obviously up his damage. I mean, he's going to be, even standing as he is in JP, if he gets no global upgrades, he's going to be the top damage dealer in global. If you can equip him right with all this LB damage, with a lot of you guys should be able to, he's going to be outstanding. So I would just like a little bit of sprinkling on top to make me feel a little bit better about the global, you know, just pulling for him on global, you know what I mean? Moving on down through his abilities, again, he has the ability to do fire, lightning, or earth, imbue, and imperil, which is great. So he could put decrease fire resist by 80%, earth resist, and lightning resist, and then also imbue that on himself for 5 turns. You can see here that he can dual cast all of these abilities. He also has the option of unlocking a triple cast, which he can then, well, now I click that off, but he can also triple cast all these abilities, including his CD abilities. Now, again, I don't want to go too far into this because I do want to do a review, but the way it's going to work is he's going to cast this CD right here where he gets LB damage up 220%, put his LB all the way up 100 to caster, mitigate physical damage. He's going to imbue and imperil with his other ability. And then he's also going to decrease the defense 74% and buff of his attack by 250. Then he's going to go spam this giant LB, which is AoE, physical damage 17.5 times, ignore defense 50%, so double that. And then decrease fire resist 120% for 2 turns to all enemies. So what you're going to want to do, because you are going to be casting this every other turn, you're going to have a giant fire and peril attached to our boy CG Rain here, and that's why you want to do the fire imbue when you use him. You can see that it is a 34 LB cost ability, and this thing is going to do massive damage with all the LB up damage that you do. And again, it's AoE, which is going to come very much in handy in a lot of the trials and different things coming out. Now, you guys remember me talking about Hyo, and Hyo is supposed to be getting the enhancements this month, right? I'm pretty sure that's what they said in the video. So Hyo can actually chain, from what I understand, with CG Rain. So it's going to help alleviate some of those problems I'm having where, you know, if I can't find a CG Rain friend, I'm just going to enhance my Hyo, buff him up, and have him in there. Now, it's not going to be as good as a CG Rain. Obviously, for harder trials, I'm going to want to rather have a CG Rain, and the LB may become a problem at making sure Hyo always has the LB, because Rain can literally just turn it on. You can look up here, another cooldown that's available on turn 2, 2-turn cooldown. He just increase LB gauge 30, but you're going to have the other 4, like somehow you're going to boost up the other 4 crisps you need. Always going to have his LB up, but that's another option for you, because there's going to be things coming out similar to the weapons trials we used to do, the Tin Mans, where we're not going to be able to use the same unit twice. So we're going to be able to take a Hyo and maybe a CG Rain, chain it up with their LBs, and do massive damage, which is going to be great. But that's pretty much where I want to be at with CG Rain, giving you guys a nice little primer. I am absolutely going to be pulling for him. I'm going to get him. But what's weird about CG Rain is he's coming very, very early to us here on Global. On top of that, CG Rain was one of those Summon Fest units. If you guys don't know what Summon Fest was, it was implemented in JP, where every banner was like 5% rainbow rates. There was a 3% on banner, 2% off banner, which is great, so more chance of getting on banner. But they were somewhat limited, so you could only pull them in which cases that would be that a Summon Fest banner was going on. So you could off banner this guy. That made the pool a little bit smaller, but you couldn't UoC any of these units. However, they said they're bringing it to global, but they're going to make it different. So I'm going to switch over back to the actual FFBE game, talk about some changes they've already implemented to the game, and give my thoughts on, is the Summon Fest coming with CG Rain? All right, guys, so here we are in game of FFBE. I know a lot of you guys are still struggling to get in. FFBE keeps saying it's something with their service provider that they're trying to fix, so I hope you guys can all get in soon. I know it's been a hell of a problem, and I hope it gets fixed. It's actually ridiculous. But hopefully at least these videos can make you feel a little bit better. Probably not, but hey. Looking at the UoCs, though, again, is CG Rain going to be a UoCable unit? Is he going to be starting off the trend, which is the Summon Fest units not being able to be UoC'd? Well, I don't think so. If you look here, we have some changes to our nice little UoC filters here, and we have ticket cost now. Instead of just trust name, number, series, unit name, ticket cost, which could mean a few things. One, which is what I thought they would be doing anyway, and you can see the little ticket costs underneath them. Could be that they're going to make some of these units cost more tickets. So maybe some of the Fest units, if they're super strong, the CG units, they make them cost a little bit more. Maybe they cost 15, maybe they cost 12, maybe they cost 20. I don't know how much they're going to cost, but they don't take away the ability to UoC. They allow you to have them here. Another thought I had was, while being able to UoC, maybe they just let you UoC them like normal. For example, we have been getting less UoCs than JP, so what they do is they come in and they say CG Rain is 10, and the reason we're showing you guys these UoC numbers is we're going to make some of the older units cheaper. We're going to have like a sale. Like some weeks we're going to have Lightning B5, and then we're going to have, you know, Orlando B5, and the next week we're going to have you know, Beatrix 5, etc., Bosch 5. Do you understand what I'm saying? To maybe entice people to spend their UoCs because they get the unit for less of a cost, and these units are kind of outdated for a lot of people. But they still could use it maybe to make a 7-star they really wanted, or to get a TMR or STMR they really wanted. And that's something also I think they're messing around with. Could it be both? 100%. Another thing I was thinking with this is, what's the option of, instead of having just a cell on the unit, they have a cell, and I'm calling it a cell, but they reduce the cost to 5, and it's their prism. So perhaps when we get CG Rain, or we get some of these older units, or even newer units, their prisms come in the shop, and they cost like 5. You know what I mean? That could be something they could be doing to entice people, because, you know, I have actually not been the biggest hoarder of my UoCs. You can see I only have 35 at this point, but a lot of people have been hoarding them. It could entice them and give them options that they may enjoy. Like, a lot of people might enjoy spending the 5 on here. So, but in the end here, there's just things I saw and wrapped my head around of what could be happening with these different, you know, how much they each cost, because there obviously is going to be a change in some of them. What do I think is actually going to happen? I think CG Rain is going to come out this week. I think CG Rain is going to bring with him the Summon Fest style of banner. I'm hoping it's 3%, or excuse me, 5% on banner rainbows, 5% rainbows, 3% on banner, 2% off. I am sick of off banner rainbows. Please keep at least that part. Like, let us UoC if it costs a little bit more, cool. But at least keep the on banner rate, because the people, when they spend their lapis, their tickets, my God, does it suck to keep getting these off banner rainbows. It literally kills people. And my prediction is he's going to come out and he's going to cost like 15. Like, CG Rain is going to be in the shop after 2 weeks, because that's how it's going to be. And he's going to end up costing 15. And I do think they're going to lower some of the cost of some of these older units to kind of like entice you. People want to use the word bait, something like that, to make you want to spend your UoCs in different ways. And honestly, I think that's kind of a good change. It allows people not to be, you know, super scared to be spending 10 of them, but allow them to spend a little bit less to get what they want. And then it also allows people who have been hoarding, and for the units they really want, you don't take away the because with JP, they pretty much, you had to pull 2 or you're done, right? If you don't pull 2 CG Rains, there's no way to fight that RNG. There's no way to make that guy 7-star and make him useful, because a lot of the units are useless at 6-star at this point. Let's be real. People don't want 6-star units. They want 7-star units. Global could change in a great way. You keep saying Global's a different game. If you allowed us some way to be able to get these units, you know, with UoCs, because that's what people have been clamoring for. That's what you've been building up to. Don't let us down, Square Enix and Gumi. That's what we want. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below with what you think about these changes. And if you're going for Rain, because I might have to make it clearing out of my friend list, dude. Subscribe for future content. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Claic Yuzolt. It's also listed in the description below. I want to see you guys on there talking with me when I do my Twitch streams. I am pulling on Thursday. Remember, this thing wraps around on Thursday. Don't forget to do your Vortex ticket thing that is out right now. I know I'm playing this outro really long. Go to the Vortex. I'm at unit capacity. Great. Can't show you. But go to the Vortex. Go down below. At the very bottom, you guys can get a ticket for the new live stream Lapis giveaway. Make sure you're doing that every day, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.